Smells great.
Thank you.
This is one of my favorite dishes. I'm salivating.
Hello everyone. This is a different video. I'm making a recipe that my husband really loves, and we're not gonna talk about our house build at all. This is my craft corner, our lounge, our dining table, our prep station. We spent a lot of time at this table in our camper, and last night I just designed this Christmas card. I made some others. They are going to be given away to the neighbors, or some of them they're going to be shipped out to friends and family. And here I'm making stuffed peppers. I'm going to take out the core and then fill them up with al dente rice. I cook it first with sautéed onion and other aromatics, and then I'm gonna stuff the peppers with it, and I'm gonna cook it on the stove for maybe an hour and then bake it for a little bit because we like it a little bit roasted on top. It's a simple recipe. Luckily I found bigger mini peppers. These are my favorite. Normally I find them this size, but look how big is this one. It's gonna make my job easier anyway. I started by sauteing chopped onions, celery, and carrots. Then added my rice. This is a long grain rice. I want to saute the rice also because the grains will not stick to each other, and also the rice is not going to be mushy later on. I added my spices, which are sweet paprika, Italian herbs, salt, pepper, and dry parsley. I could have used fresh parsley, but I choose to have dry parsley. After everything is coated in oil, I'm adding water, almost like making Chinese rice, but a little less. I have less water because I want the rice to be al dente. I'm going to let it simmer for 2-3 minutes and then cover it up and let it stand for maybe 10 to 20 minutes till I like the consistency of the rice.
And I want to show you something, guys. You find in a log that I cut it. It's the bug that it's
Eating the trees?
eating the trees, I think.
That was ugly.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I cut smaller pieces to start the fire. Not really kindling, it's a little bit bigger than it's supposed to be, just to maintain the first fire till I can actually put bigger pieces. So outside it's only 22 degrees, and unfortunately in the house we didn't make any fire for the past 2 days, and we just started. It's only 40 degrees, so tonight is gonna go non-stop the fire till midnight probably, because tomorrow I'm gonna work more in the house.
I have already washed and cored these ones. I choose the biggest one, of course. And it's easy, just that you have to be careful to cut the top and then scoop out the inside without damaging the bell pepper, and then give it a tap to take out the seeds. And then if you see the rivets, take those out too, as much as you can. Stick your finger. Easy, right? This didn't even have seeds inside, but this is too skinny. I don't think I'm gonna do it. Only if I have too much left over, then I may use this one. You can use the big regular peppers, green pepper, red pepper, orange peppers, whatever you like. We prefer the small ones, yellow, red and orange. And you can stuff them with meat, also with grounded meat if you want to. I'm making it vegan, not because you're vegetarians, but my husband prefers it with rice. He liked them with rice. I just put a little bit of mushrooms. I pre-cook them because I always buy mushrooms and they're too much in the package, and I'm never being able to eat them right away. And then I saute them and put them in the freezer, use them when I need to before the recipe is ready. And this is my rice. It's almost cooked to being soft, but actually it's al dente. And I'm gonna stuff the peppers with it. I put the salt, pepper, paprika, Italian spices, and extra parsley, dry parsley or fresh parsley, whatever you have handy. I always have my parsley fresh in the freezer or dry. I buy extra parsley and I put it in the freezer. Everything is set. I'm just gonna go ahead and stuff the peppers. You can use a smaller spoon, but that's what I have. And I'm making sure that I'm fill them up inside as much as I can, because I don't want them to be empty inside, because they were just gonna take space in my pan. I think this is it. My rice is very flavorful. I could just eat it like this, just give it a little bit of longer boil time, and it can be plain or like a side dish. I meant my family, my mother-in-law, my mother, nobody in my family and my husband family, it's using chicken broth or vegetable broth. We always use fresh food and we cook it like when we want to make a chicken soup, we just boil the chicken and get the stock right away, the flavor of the chicken right away. Same thing with vegetables. We always start with aromatics and then build up everything from scratch. That's how I grew up and I'm still doing it this way. I remember when I was little, my mom would keep me with her in the kitchen and she will talk about the steps you need to start making a soup or to make saute or a bechamel sauce, or she would tell me the steps. You always start with aromatics, and then depends if you're making a soup, you may do a different step, but if you're making a stew or a pot roast, you'll do different steps, but they all need aromatics in the beginning. The rice is gonna cook a little bit more in a pan. They're gonna have such a nice texture. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to boil them for maybe half hour to an hour on a stove in a small simmer. And then I'm going to put them in an oven to give them a nice crust, but I'm gonna give them a sauce. I'm gonna make like tomato paste or with water or tomato sauce from fresh tomatoes, but I don't have any fresh tomatoes in the camper right now. I'm gonna use either tomato paste or tomato sauce. I'll use the tomato sauce better. And then same thing, I give some spices to that sauce and let it simmer, let these peppers simmer in that tomato sauce. This is my husband's favorite with the rice. We also do cabbage rolls stuffed with meat or with rice, but it's more used with meat, not with rice. And you can also do grapevine leaves, and you'll eat those with sour cream. Same thing for the stuffed cabbage rolls, you eat them with sour cream. If you make this with meat, you can top it off with sour cream, but with the rice doesn't go well with the sour cream. I'm almost done, but I will probably have to clean up more peppers. Or I just can eat this. I don't mind to eat it like the way it is right now. I have already filled up most of them, but I need more. This is a total vegan, vegetarian food if you like it this way. We'll eat anything. We are not fussy about what type of food we are having. As long as it's good food and cooked with love, We don't discriminate food. I think this is gonna be my last pepper because I don't want to overcrowd them in a pot. And this rice, we're gonna eat it as a side dish for maybe tomorrow or other day. I ended up cleaning up more peppers to fill them up with all the rice. Okay, this is it. Now I'm adding my tomato sauce and some water. I don't want everything to be immersed, but I want to have some steam going to cook everything in the pot. See you later. Oh, and I'm gonna add some spices to Italian herbs, mostly salt, pepper. That's it. I don't use garlic on this recipe. Alright, everything is set. I'm just gonna cover it and let them go to boil and then see what's going on after. Welcome in our kitchen, which is in our camper. Everything is small, the space is small. These are my pot holders. Here are my quick day-by-day ingredients I use. Can you hear the simmer? Sounds so good and smells excellent. And this is my spice drawer. Currently I have more, but this is the space I have to stick to. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna turn down the stove and let it simmer for as much I like it to simmer. Maybe half hour, maybe an hour. I'll decide. I want to see the texture. I let them simmer for 1 hour. I have already placed the peppers in a countertop oven that I have, and I made some apple strudels because I always like to make more than one thing. I set my oven at 425 convection for 30 minutes. Looks good. The strudels are out. Now these are looking great. Michael could now wait to have a go.
Smells great.
Thank you.
This is one of my favorite dishes. You can see how many I put.
Yeah.
I'm salivating. Oh. Looks good.
I made the video for this recipe not long ago, and I have to say that this is a made-up recipe. This is the leftover apple strudel, and you can tell how full they are with apples, walnuts, dry fruits. Very flavorful. This is the next day. These are the peppers. They're cooled right now. And I want to cut in one of them to show you how they are inside. See, they're full to the end. Sorry, I'm holding the camera with the other hand. I was too lazy to set my tripod. They squeezed out, but look, they're filled to the end, and the rice is nice, creamy and moist. The secret is to cook the rice till it gets a little bit creamy. It's al dente, but it's already sticking together, because if the rice will be loose, then they're gonna spread apart in your roast, and then it's not gonna stay. By the next day, everything was gone. There was nothing left. And this is Michael fighting with the last layer of the insulation for the roof. But I'm not gonna talk about it yet. It's gonna be in one of our next episodes. Thank you everyone for following our journey, a journey in which we are building a debt-free house alone.